fabulous executive living bordering Oak Mountain State Park. Colleen and David Black, Keller Williams Realty, 356-5412. Call on Colleen.
This is the Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, June the 14th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and thanks for joining us. And it looks like we might have deja vu all over again. Let's get right to some Skycam images this morning. And with that shower activity we had yesterday, we certainly have a good deal of low-level moisture, and we can see that in the clouds over Birmingham. It's also a cloudy day over the Tennessee River as we look out over that Tennessee River from the Decatur Skycam, and a little brighter at Trussville this morning. Now, on the surface map, we've had this lingering frontal zone that's kind of sagged into the area, and that should be moving north. All the forecasts have indicated that for the last several days, so it should be moving north and won't be plaguing us quite as much as we get into the first and middle of next week. But in the meantime, you can see that huge cloud mass over Arkansas. We'll look at radar in just a moment, but we have another one of those large mesoscale convective systems or complexes that is moving our way, and with the 700 millibar flow, or kind of along the contours you see there at the 500 millibar level, there is a good possibility it could affect the northern and central part of Alabama. Temperatures this morning are rather pleasant, around the 70-degree mark or so. I noticed Anniston is 67, and Alex City 68, but Tuscaloosa 72, so certainly a warm and rather humid morning this morning, and you can see a little bit of fog being reported. Well, here's radar, and certainly another huge convective complex over northeastern Arkansas, you might say. This one's a little further north than what we saw a couple of days ago, but still, in the meantime, it is being centered on for a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for much of this morning. QPF-wise, as the front migrates a little further north, or the frontal zone, I should say, then the QPF guys thinking the main threat for heavier rain is going to be over the central U.S. From St. Louis over into eastern Kentucky, where they could have as much as 5 inches of rain over the next 5 days. In the meantime, Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a large area from all the way from southeastern Montana all the way down to about Birmingham, so covering places like Kansas City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Memphis, so a number of areas outlooked for severe weather today for slight risk. And that primary slight risk being severe thunderstorms. The risk does shift a little further north, especially in the southeastern U.S. for day 2. That's Monday. And then day 3, it's kind of back in our neighborhood, and that would be Tuesday. So we'll be watching that. But again, the main threat is severe thunderstorms with damaging wind and large hail. Tropically, we're still rather quiet. All right, let's get to the 06Z GFS model run, and here's the 500 millibar pattern, and there's our little ridge that we've been saying is going to occur. And indeed, I think we may see some complex move down, especially into the Tennessee River Valley. Now, whether it gets to central Alabama, it's hard to say, but of course we'll have to watch out for additional development around that system, which will have some significant boundaries. The ridge slides slightly eastward on Monday, and that paves the way for much of the precipitation and that frontal zone to slide just a little bit north, and can't still rule out the possibility that we'll see some isolated, perhaps to scattered showers, but primarily I would say over the Tennessee River Valley. The ridge broadens somewhat on Tuesday, doesn't move a whole lot further, or doesn't build a whole lot further north, at least until Wednesday, and then it begins to build a lot further north, especially over the central U.S. And once again, that keeps us primarily dry, but I think there, a possibility with the heat that we will, especially with highs in the lower 90s, we could see an isolated afternoon shower. Now, the ridge begins to dampen once again on Thursday in response to the strong westerly flow and some pretty potent short waves that are moving through it, and especially one of those short waves begins to kind of pinch that ridge a little bit and not only dampen it for the southeastern U.S., but also force it to slide a little further west, so retrograding it. But that still keeps much of the precipitation well north of the Tennessee River Valley, so Right now, it certainly looks like Friday, which is the start of city stages, will be dry. The low becomes closed over the eastern Great Lakes area on Saturday, and of course you can see with the amplitude, the influence is being felt down this way, and indeed we may see some better chances for rain on Saturday. Then on Sunday, that trough certainly does sharpen up, but as you can see, the trough axis is to our east, and we're under a northwesterly, strong northwesterly flow pattern, but once again, the possibility exists for some showers and thunderstorms in that particular flow pattern, and not much changes as we head into Monday and the first of the following week. All right, let's go out into Voodoo here, and of course this is Voodoo, but the GFS has been forecasting the ridge to come back strongly. This is the end of June, and boy, that's coming back strongly. But let's look at the surface, and we're still under a rather humid air mass, but notice that there are a couple of tropical systems. It's actually identifying a low in the western Gulf, no low in the Bahamas, but looks like the possibility of a tropical system. So we'll be watching all of that. I certainly appreciate you tuning in and sticking with us this week as James has been on vacation. I anticipate he will be back in the saddle first thing tomorrow morning, full of vim and vigor and ready to go as he's been all renewed by vacation. He'll probably dread the day. No, he won't. He just loves the weather. So I certainly hope that you have a great Sunday, and Godspeed.